Your nice guy leadership is a liability. You prioritize being liked over being respected, and your competitors are eating you alive. That fear of being seen as cruel? It's not virtue, it's cowardice. Your integrated shadow is the only part of you capable of the ruthless decisions required to truly lead. This is how to weaponize it and rule. Stop. Let that settle. Because right now, in this exact moment, you are paying a tax on your niceness, a financial tax, an authority tax, a respect tax. And you know it. You feel it every time you walk into that boardroom and sense that your team isn't afraid of disappointing you. They're comfortable. And comfort in your subordinates is the first symptom of a dying enterprise. You've been taught that empathy is leadership, that emotional intelligence means making everyone feel seen. But here's the truth they didn't teach you in your MBA. Empathy without the capacity for destruction is not leadership, it's servitude. You are not running a company, you are hostage to it. Your fear of conflict has turned you into a manager of feelings rather than a commander of outcomes. And while you're busy being the office therapist, your competitors, the ones who sleep perfectly well after firing half their team, are capturing your market share. You think your problem is that you care too much, but that's the comfortable lie. Your real problem is that you are terrified of the part of yourself that could make the ruthless call. You have exiled your inner tyrant, and in doing so, you have made yourself weak. The modern business landscape does not reward the meek. It rewards the integrated, those who have descended into their own psychological underworld and returned with the dark gift, the ability to destroy when destruction serves the mission. You are about to discover why every great leader in history, from Marcus Aurelius to Steve Jobs, possess something you've been taught to suppress. Not cruelty for its own sake, but the capacity for it. The readiness, the teeth. This video will show you how to integrate your shadow, not as a personality flaw to heal, but as the most potent strategic asset you will ever possess. You are about to learn the most dangerous leadership secret in business psychology. Mercy without power is not virtue, it is cowardice, and your shareholders can smell it.
Your cursor is frozen because part of you knows clicking away now would be self-betrayal. That hesitation, that's your hidden self fighting to stay awake. This is your line. Cross it. Subscribe. This isn't content, it's cognitive warfare. Prove you're in. Comment, cognitive war. Anything less is surrender. See what others miss. Know what others fear. Become who others can't. This is the hidden self. Let's begin.
You tell yourself you're building a culture, that your company is a family, that you lead with servant leadership. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you made a decision that made you genuinely uncomfortable? When was the last time you did something that you knew would make people think less of you? When was the last time you prioritized the mission over being liked? If you're struggling to answer, then you're not a leader. You're a hostage negotiator in your own company, and the hostages are running the operation. The nice guy CEO is a modern invention, a byproduct of HR culture, corporate sensitivity training, and a generation of business thought leaders who mistook agreeableness for competence. You've been sold a lie, that the future of leadership is soft, that the best CEOs are the ones who ask, "How does everyone feel about this?" before making a strategic decision. But here's the data they don't show you. Companies led by nice guy CEOs underperform. They have slower decision-making cycles. They hemorrhage top talent because A players don't want to work for someone they don't respect. They get crushed in negotiations because everyone at the table knows you'll blink first. You've confused kindness with leadership. You've mistaken patience for strategy. And you're paying for it in every quarterly report. Your niceness is not a leadership style, it's a defense mechanism. You're nice because you're afraid of conflict, afraid of being the villain, Afraid that if people see the real you, the part of you that could fire your co-founder, kill a project someone spent months on, or tell an investor to get out, they'll reject you. So you've built an entire executive persona around being palatable, safe, likable, and in doing so, you have castrated your own authority. Let me tell you what your employees actually think when you're being nice. They don't think you're compassionate. They think you're weak. They don't respect your patience. They exploit it. Every time you delay a hard decision to get more input, they see a leader who doesn't have the stomach for leadership. Every time you let a mediocre employee stay because you don't want to hurt them, your top performers see a CEO who values comfort over excellence, and they start looking at LinkedIn. Your competitors aren't nice. They're not in their offices right now, wondering if their decision will hurt someone's feelings. They're executing, they're moving, they're taking the market share you're too afraid to fight for because you're worried about being perceived as aggressive. You think you're being ethical, but there's nothing ethical about letting your company slowly die because you're too scared to make the killer instinct move. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The nice guy CEO is not a moral position, it's a market liability, and the market is Darwinian. It does not reward your sensitivity. It rewards your ability to make the decision no one else will make, to be the bad guy when the mission demands it, to have the capacity for ruthlessness even if you rarely deploy it. Because here's the paradox. You don't have to be cruel, but you must be capable of it. The leader who cannot access their inner tyrant is as dangerous as the leader who cannot control it. You are the former, and it's killing your company. Carl Jung didn't develop shadow psychology as a therapy model. He developed it as a map of power. Your shadow is not the bad part of you, it's the disowned part. The part you've been taught is unacceptable in polite society. It's your rage, your ambition, your capacity for manipulation, your desire to dominate, your ability to betray when betrayal serves survival. You've spent your entire life suppressing it. Your parents punished it. Your teachers shamed it. Your first boss told you to be a team player when what they really meant was be compliant. And you learned. You learned that the dark parts of you were obstacles to success, so you locked them away. You built a persona, a public self, that was agreeable, professional, ethical, and safe. And you called that maturity. But here's what you didn't realize. When you exile your shadow, you don't destroy it. You just lose access to it. And in losing access to it, you lose access to the very traits that would make you a formidable leader. Your shadow contains your killer instinct. Your shadow is where your ability to say no lives. Your shadow holds your capacity to fire, to pivot, to abandon sunk costs, to look someone in the eye and tell them they're out. Your shadow is the part of you that doesn't care if people like you. It cares if they respect you, if they fear disappointing you. And without access to that part of yourself, you are a manager, not a leader. You think integrating your shadow means becoming an asshole. That's the pedestrian understanding. Shadow integration is not about becoming cruel. It's about becoming whole. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that are capable of the full spectrum of human behavior, including the dark end, so that you have access to those tools when the situation demands it. Let me give you a scenario. You have an executive on your team. They've been with you since the early days. You're close. But they're no longer growing. They're actively blocking progress. They're creating bottlenecks, and everyone on your team knows it. But you haven't fired them. Why? Because firing them would make you feel like a bad person. That discomfort you're feeling, that's your shadow knocking. It's saying, I can do this, let me do this, but you won't let it out. You've been conditioned to believe that a good leader finds a way to make it work. So you've spent 6 months trying to coach them, restructure around them, hoping they'll magically level up. And in those 6 months, you've lost your best product manager, missed a funding milestone, and hemorrhaged team morale. Your niceness didn't save anyone. It cost everyone. A leader with an integrated shadow makes the decision in week 1. They don't enjoy it, but they're capable of it. And that capability is what creates executive presence. Executive presence is not charisma. It's not confidence. It's the unspoken understanding that you are capable of making the hard call, that you have the range, that you can be generous and brutal, kind and ruthless, compassionate and surgical. Your team doesn't need to see you wield the shadow often. They just need to know it's there, that you have teeth, that if the mission requires it, you will make the decision that destroys comfort in service of the goal. That's what creates psychological safety, by the way, not your niceness, your capability. People feel safe with leaders who are strong enough to make the decisions they can't. Your niceness makes them feel like they have to manage you, like they're the ones holding the company together because you won't do what needs to be done. Your shadow is not your enemy. It's your edge. And every day you keep it locked away, you are fighting with one hand tied behind your back. There's an old Machiavellian principle that's been bastardized by business gurus into oblivion: the velvet glove over the iron fist. But here's what they get wrong. They tell you to develop the glove, to be charming, diplomatic, emotionally intelligent, to soften your approach. But they assume you already have the fist. You don't. You have a glove over nothing. You're all diplomacy and no danger. All charm and no threat. And that's why no one takes you seriously. The iron fist is your integrated shadow. It's the part of you capable of absolute destruction, of firing the entire executive team if that's what the mission requires, of killing your favorite product because the market has spoken, of looking your co-founder in the eye and saying, "I'm buying you out." Most leaders are terrified of forging the iron first. They want the glove because the glove is safe. The glove gets you invited to panels. The glove gets you profiled in fast company as a thoughtful leader. But the glove without the fist is just performance art. It's leadership cosplay. Here's the test. If your team has never seen you make a decision that genuinely scared them, then you don't have the fist. If you've never had to deliver news that made someone cry, that made someone question if they want to keep working with you, that made the room go cold, then you're not leading. You're chaperoning. The most dangerous leaders in history were not the cruelest. They were the ones who had the capacity for cruelty, but wielded it with precision. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic philosopher, but he was also a Roman emperor who commanded legions and made life and death decisions daily. Steve Jobs was capable of eviscerating someone in a meeting, but he was also capable of profound vision and loyalty. The integration is the power. You must be capable of both, of generosity and ruthlessness, of patience and aggression, of building people up and cutting them down. Most leaders are lopsided. They're all fist, tyrants who burn through talent and create toxic cultures. Or they're all glove, people pleasers who get walked over and lose the company. You've been the latter. And it's time to forge the iron. But here's the nuance most people miss. You don't lead with the fist. You lead with the knowledge that you have it. It's the unspoken threat, the option you never deploy but everyone knows is on the table. It's why the president doesn't need to launch nuclear weapons to have geopolitical power. The power is in the capability. Your team needs to know that you can be ruthless, that you can make the call that hurts, that if the company's survival is on the line, you will do whatever it takes. They don't need to see you do it every week. They just need to know the option exists. That changes everything. That's when people start moving faster, when they stop testing boundaries, when they stop managing up and start executing down, because they're no longer dealing with a people pleaser. They're dealing with a leader who has the full range of human capability and the wisdom to deploy it strategically. The velvet glove over the iron fist is not about being fake. It's about being complete. It's about having access to the dark tools and choosing most of the time, not to use them. But the choice is yours, not because you can't, but because you don't have to. That's power, that's executive presence, that's the integration your leadership has been missing. So how do you actually integrate your shadow? How do you reclaim the exiled tyrant without becoming a monster? This is not a feelings exercise. This is not journaling about your inner demons. This is a strategic psychological operation, and it starts with radical honesty. Step 1, acknowledge what you're capable of. Not what you've done, what you're capable of. You are capable of betrayal, of manipulation, of cruelty, of letting someone suffer if it serves your survival. You are capable of lying, of abandoning loyalty, of prioritizing your own advancement over others' well-being. This is not a moral judgment. This is a biological fact. Every human being has these capacities. The difference is that most people lie to themselves about it. They say, "I would never do that." But they would. Under the right conditions, everyone would. The person who says they're incapable of evil is the most dangerous person in the room, because they have no relationship with their own darkness. And when it emerges, and it will, they won't see it coming. They'll rationalize it, they'll project it, they'll become the thing they swore they'd never be, and they'll call it justice. You must be able to look at the darkest version of yourself and say, "Yes, I am capable of that." Not, "I want to do that." But I could. That's the first gate. And most leaders never walk through it because it's too uncomfortable. They'd rather keep pretending they're good people while their unconscious shadow runs the show from the basement. Step 2, identify where your shadow is already leaking. Your shadow doesn't stay locked away, it leaks. It comes out sideways, in passive aggression, in strategic delays that are really just conflict avoidance, in hiring people weaker than you so you never feel threatened, in sabotaging your own success because deep down you're terrified of what you'd become if you actually won. Look at your business decisions over the last 6 months. Where have you been indirect when you should have been direct? Where have you used process or consensus as an excuse to avoid making a call? Where have you let something drag on because ending it would require you to be the bad guy? Those are your shadow leaks, and they're costing you more than if you'd just made the ruthless decision cleanly. Step 3, practice conscious deployment. This is where most people get it wrong. They think shadow integration means unleashing your dark side. No, it means bringing it into consciousness so you can choose when to use it. You practice by making small, ruthless decisions deliberately. Fire the underperformer you've been dragging along. Kill the project everyone's attached to, but you know is dead. Have the conversation you've been avoiding because it'll be uncomfortable. And here's the key. Do it cleanly. Don't apologize. Don't over-explain. Don't cushion it with 1,000 reassurances. State the decision. State the reason. Hold the boundary and let the discomfort exist. You will feel like a bad person. Good. That feeling is your persona dying. Your persona is the mask that says, "I'm nice, I'm safe, I'm one of the good ones." And that mask has been running your company into the ground. Let it die. On the other side of that discomfort is a leader who has access to the full toolkit, who can be warm and cold, generous and ruthless, compassionate and surgical, who doesn't need to be liked because they're too busy being effective. Step 4, integrate the lesson. After you make the ruthless call, pay attention. Did the company collapse? Did everyone quit? Did you become a tyrant? No. What actually happened is that you created clarity. You set a boundary. You showed that you're capable of making the hard decision. And your team, especially your top performers, respected you more for it. Because finally, they're working for a leader instead of a committee. The integration is not a one-time event. It's a practice. Every time you're faced with a decision that makes you uncomfortable, that's your shadow offering you a tool. And your job is to assess, is this the right tool for this situation? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. But you can't make that assessment if you don't have access to the tool in the first place. Shadow integration is not about becoming dark, it's about becoming whole. And a whole leader is a dangerous leader in the best possible way. Now let's get tactical, because philosophy without application is just intellectual masturbation. And you didn't come here to feel enlightened, you came here to learn how to rule. Here's how you weaponize your integrated shadow in the 5 highest leverage areas of executive leadership. 1. Firing. This is the decision most nice guy CEOs avoid until it's catastrophic. You wait too long, you over-explain, you try to make it mutual. Stop. When you know someone needs to go, you move immediately. You don't give them a performance improvement plan that you both know is theater. You don't spend weeks documenting to protect yourself legally. You have the conversation. You're direct. This isn't working. Today is your last day. Here's your severance. 3 sentences. No negotiation, no therapy session. You're not their friend, you're their CEO. And your job is to protect the mission, not their feelings. The kindest thing you can do is give them clarity and let them move on. The cruelest thing you can do is let them hang in limbo for months while everyone watches them fail. Your integrated shadow knows this. Let it do the job. 2. Negotiation. You're getting destroyed in negotiations because you're afraid of being seen as aggressive. You're afraid the other side won't like you, so you signal flexibility. You say things like, "We're open to creative solutions," and the other side hears, "We're desperate." Your shadow is your poker face. It's the part of you that can sit in silence after you've made your offer and let the discomfort do the work. It's the part of you that can walk away from a deal everyone else thinks you need. It's the part of you that knows the person who cares less has all the power. Stop negotiating like you need them to like you. Negotiate like you have options, even if you don't, especially if you don't. That's not dishonesty. That's strategy, and strategy is amoral. 3. Delegation. You're a bottleneck because you don't trust your team. And you don't trust your team because you've hired people you can control instead of people who challenge you. Your shadow knows why. Because if you hire someone stronger than you might get replaced. So you've built a team of subordinates instead of a team of leaders. Fire them, all of them. Hire people who scare you a little, who have skills you don't, who push back, who don't need you to babysit them, and then, this is the hard part, get out of their way. Your integrated shadow gives you the confidence to be surrounded by killers, because you're not threatened by competence, you're threatened by incompetence. 4. Investor relations. You're pitching investors like you're asking permission. You're not. You're offering them access to asymmetric upside in exchange for capital. That's the frame. Your shadow knows this. It's the part of you that can say, "Here's the deal. If you're not in, someone else will be." It's the part of you that doesn't flinch when they lowball your valuation. That can say, "That's not the conversation. The round is oversubscribed at this number. Are you in or out?" Most founders are so desperate for validation that they give away the store in the first meeting. Your shadow protects your equity. It's the part of you that can walk away. And paradoxically, that's what makes investors want in, because finally they're dealing with a CEO who acts like they're going to win with or without them. 5. Strategic pivots. You're holding onto a strategy because you announced it publicly and you're afraid of looking indecisive. Your shadow doesn't care about looking consistent. It cares about winning. When the data says pivot, you pivot. You don't wait for consensus. You don't workshop it for 3 months. You make the call, you communicate it clearly, and you move. The leaders who win are not the ones who were right from the beginning. They're the ones who were wrong quickly and adjusted fast. Your integrated shadow gives you permission to kill your darlings, to admit you were wrong, to change direction without shame, because you're not trying to be right, you're trying to win. These are not personality traits, these are tools. And your integrated shadow is the part of you that can pick up any tool, including the dark ones, and use it with precision when the mission demands it. This is not cruelty. This is leadership. And if you're not willing to access this part of yourself, you will spend your entire career being managed by people who are. You've just experienced something most executives will never allow themselves to feel: disgust at their own weakness. That feeling is not punishment, it's information. It's your psyche telling you that you've been lying to yourself about what leadership requires, and now you have a choice. You can close this video and go back to being the nice guy CEO. The one everyone likes, but no one respects. The one who loses deals because you're too afraid to be aggressive. The one who loses talent because your top performers don't want to work for someone they pity. Or you can start the integration. You can look at the part of yourself you've been taught to suppress, the part that's capable of ruthlessness, of betrayal, of cruelty, and instead of exiling it, you can bring it into your leadership toolkit, not as your default, but as an option. The most powerful leaders in the world are not the kindest. They're not the cruelest. They're the most integrated. They have the velvet glove and the iron fist. They can be generous and ruthless, warm and cold, compassionate and surgical. And they choose which tool to use based on what the mission requires, not based on what makes them comfortable. That's the leader you're capable of becoming, but only if you're willing to descend into your own darkness and return with the gift. Your competitors are not having this conversation. They're executing. They're taking the market share you're too afraid to fight for. They're hiring the talent you're too passive to close. They're making the decisions you're still getting consensus on. And every day you delay your integration is a day you're giving them an advantage. So here's what you do next. You identify the one ruthless decision you've been avoiding, the one that would make you feel like a bad person, and you make it. This week, not next quarter, not after you gather more data. This week, fire the underperformer, kill the dying project, have the uncomfortable conversation, set the boundary, make the call, and pay attention to what happens. You will feel terrible at first. That's your persona dying. Let it. On the other side is a version of you that your company actually needs, a leader who has descended into their own psychological underworld and returned with the power to rule. Not through fear, not through manipulation, but through integration, through wholeness, through the quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are capable of the full spectrum of human behavior and you have the discipline to deploy it strategically. That's executive presence. That's authority. That's the CEO your board hired you to be. Now prove it. Comment below, iron fist. 2 words. That's your declaration. That you're done being the nice guy. That you're ready to integrate your shadow. That you understand that mercy without power is not virtue. It's a liability. And if you're serious about this transformation, if you're ready to become the leader your mission demands, then subscribe. Because this channel is not for people who want to feel good about themselves. It's for people who want to win. Every video here is designed to show you the psychological leverage your competitors don't have. The Jungian principles that separate the CEOs who build empires from the ones who build companies that die quietly. You've just taken the first step. Don't stop now. And whatever you do, don't stop now. The on-screen video, it's the other half of the equation. It'll show you how to weaponize your persona, the mask you show the world, to multiply the power of your integrated shadow. Trust me, you don't want to try and rule without it. I'll see you there. See what others miss, know what others fear, become who others can't.